I'm not saying that it's only gonna last 3 to 4 months, but if it does and you're a provider, what do you do for your patient who just paid 4 times the amount? What's up everyone? In this video, we're talking about, is Daxxify worth it? My name is Sagar Patel and I'm a double board certified facial plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. And I was first introduced to the world of Daxxify a couple of months ago. Now, I knew what it was and that it was in the pipeline for a couple of years, and I've been waiting to try out the product myself. Before we begin, I want to tell you what Daxxify is. Now, Daxxify is a formulation of botulinum toxin, commonly known as Botox, that is proposed to have a longer duration. It was the magical pill, aka 6-month Botox. It was FDA released this year, and we've seen the results now over the course of the year. Now, the first thing I would tell you is this video is not just for patients out there, also for providers. Providers need to know if this is a worthwhile product to have in their armamentarium, and we need to be honest with patients in telling people what we assess at the same time, and hopefully my honesty is something that you guys will help understand as a consumer and as providers. Our job is to get patients what they want, and it's important to have options out there, but it's also important to understand patients have hard-earned money that we don't want them to waste. Now, the advantage of a 6-month botulinum toxin is simply that you don't need to have it done as often. Now, in general, when we had multiple 4 options of botulinum toxylation, those formulations are going to be Botox, Jeuveau, Xeomin, and Dysport. We never guaranteed duration. And that is something that when you introduce a new product and you're changing any pricing structure based on a guarantee of duration, there's nothing the provider or the patient can do to guarantee that. Now, as a simple tip, zinc can help increase the duration if you take that every day, but there's no guarantee even on that. Now, as a provider, you have to understand that when you're charging someone more for a product, and the initial recommendations of Daxxify were to charge 4 times the amount for the convenience and the duration, in order to do that, we need to be sure and certain it's going to have more duration. The secondary thing from a provider's point of view is you have less foot traffic, less people in the door, less relationships to build. While it may be convenient for patients, it definitely can hurt the bottom line to not have people coming in as often, and something that's not that inconvenient or time consuming for the patient. And while it's a great option to have out there, the key is, does it actually last? Now, here is the T. Ever since I was originally proposed with the idea of buying Daxxify, I initially was very skeptical of charging 4 times the amount for something that I couldn't guarantee the duration. I did have a nice thought based on a friend who had messaged me saying she knows she's trying to get pregnant and wants to do Botox, that in that very subset, it totally makes sense. It also makes sense in people who don't have the time and have so much money to waste, but guess what? That's about 0.1% of patients who get the treatment these days. That being said, I was skeptical that this would last. Come to today, surprise, surprise, the prices have dropped. The recommended price is basically 60% less than the initial. Why? Because it never made any sense. So when you see all these promotions for Daxxify, that's why you're seeing them. It's to decrease it. Now, where's the kicker in that? That's only if it lasts. So the question is, does it last? Of course, in the clinical studies, when they injected more, it lasts. In fact, there's an amazing doctor in Beverly Hills who's been talking about this for years. In a way he explains, you can inject a lot of Botox, aka a big dog, and put it on a short leash so it doesn't spread all over the place and cause paralysis, and make it so that it lasts longer. This has been known, in a way we can do it. We just have to inject more and concentrate it a little bit more so it doesn't spread and cause issues and side effects like a drooping brow. Now, that being said, check out my video here. This is before, this is just 3 months later. I talked to another surgeon who had it done. His lasted a little over 4 months. Once again, I'm not saying that it's only gonna last 3 to 4 months, but if it does and you're a provider, what do you do for your patient who just paid 4 times the amount? Is that fair for you? Is that fair for the patient? No, it's that we cannot guarantee the product duration in the first place, and it's a slippery slope to walk into that. So my bottom line is, as Daxxify prices drop, it's a great option for those looking for avoiding the inconvenience, but be very cost conscious because you shouldn't be paying much of a premium for something that can't be guaranteed in terms of duration. The second thing I would say is it can be worth it in a very, very small subset of people, but for the vast majority, I say no. Hopefully this video is helpful to providers and patients out there. Please leave a comment or a question below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and check out all our content.